Right now, on Wake Up, the Bearded Bean burglary in Old Town Salinas. We're going to hear from the owner and other shops ramping up security measures after the break-in this morning.
Good morning, everybody. We will be seeing some rain and wind in the forecast today. I'll let you know what we can expect tonight into the overnight hours coming up in my full forecast.
Plus, a prowler in Salinas caught by police after a neighbor scared him off by firing a weapon into the air. And the Trump administration claiming Tylenol is linked to autism, but medical experts say the science doesn't add up. Wake Up starts right now.
Live, covering the Central Coast, this is KION News This Morning.
6 o'clock. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. Before we get to our top stories, let's get a check-in on that forecast with Tianan Phelps. Good morning, Tianan. Welcome back, too.
Thank you.
It was probably a little brighter in SoCal the last few days you've been gone, or at least yesterday, too.
It definitely was. It actually rained over in Palm Springs.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
It was very sunny on Saturday, and then Sunday, the rain just was pouring.
All right. Well, you brought the rain here. Thanks so much.
No problem. Temperatures right now in the 50s and 60s, some regions even hitting the 70s this early morning. We are seeing 74 degrees over in Big Sur, 71 in Carmel Valley, 59 in Salinas, 58 Monterey, 59 over in Santa Cruz. Now here's what we can expect over in the Santa Clara Valley. We will be seeing some heat alerts that would be expiring tonight at 7 p.m. We will be also seeing some rain chances that will be happening in the overnight hours. During the day, we won't be seeing much rain or clouds. It's mainly going to be over in the overnight hours. These green indicating rain and this gray indicating clouds and wind. So around this time tomorrow, you can expect to see some rain and wind. So I suggest grabbing an umbrella and grabbing a jacket with a hood on your way out the door. Now over on the coast in Salinas, we can expect some light showers. It will be muggy and some chances of thunderstorms. Temperatures ranging from 72 to 84. Over in the mountains and valleys, pretty much the same story, but the only difference is that temperatures will be from 90 to 97. Victor, back to you.
Thanks so much, Tiana. And staff at the Bearded Bean in Old Town Salinas are cleaning up after a suspect was caught on camera breaking into their business, stealing the cash register in the process. KION's Jose Romo reports.
The back door at the Bearded Bean remains boarded up, and despite this, staff continue welcoming customers in hopes to move past the bitter experience. Their business was broken into over the weekend.
Our opening staff member gave me a phone call telling me that the shop glass was broken or popped open. I didn't know what exactly they meant by that. They sent me the picture, and this door here the glass was completely taken off and just put to the side.
Eric quickly called the police and filed a report. Soon after, he went to social media sharing security images in hopes the community could help pinpoint the suspect.
Yeah, you feel violated. You feel defeated. It's really hard to earn a dollar in this world today, and our staff works really hard for their dollar as well, and that takes away from them, their tips and their paychecks and everything else that comes with the business.
In the security footage, you can see how a man in a light-colored jacket and a backpack broke in, leaving with the cash register and what was inside.
Data from the Salinas Police Department shows in 2024 they received 240 burglary reports along the city's jurisdiction. Business owners around the area saying this has served as a call to action.
It's already hard to kind of turn a profit for the small businesses. So just hearing that our neighborhood businesses are getting broken into is just it's just sad and unfortunate. For sure, especially when you know the people that are behind the scenes, the people that work there, the owners. Yeah, it is sad to hear.
Luckily we had the camera set up where we were.
Eric says he is now looking to add more security camera angles in hopes of being better prepared. He says he is glad none of his staff was hurt, as this happened after hours. To prevent future break-ins, he adds that lights will remain on in the business overnight.
Jose Romo reporting some other Old Town shops say they're triple checking security measures while also adding the area is typically a safe one for them. Some scary moments in a Salinas neighborhood yesterday morning, police say shots were fired as they searched for a suspect people saw prowling through their backyards. The department says multiple calls came in around 5:30 Monday about a man in the backyards of several homes on Chaparral Street. As officers arrived, they heard 2 gunshots coming from one of the yards. Police say a homeowner fired the shots into the air as a warning, causing the prowler to run off. The suspect was arrested and is now facing several charges. The DA's office could also bring additional ones. Police are identifying the suspect as 37-year-old Cesar Rios. Police say while no one was hurt, they want to remind the community firing warning shots is dangerous and unlawful, as stray rounds can cause unintended injuries or damage. The back and forth over a referendum concerning renter protection ordinances in the city of Salinas continues today. Salinas council members are expected to choose whether to bring the ordinances back while also modifying them, or leave it up to voters, or leave the ordinances as they are. During the last meeting, at least one council member who previously voted to repeal the ordinances looked to switch sides, filing a motion to repeal the repeal. The move by Councilmember Jose Luis Barajas, however, was not seconded, delaying that final decision. New claims from the Trump administration this morning that acetaminophen, which is a common ingredient in Tylenol, could be linked to the rise in autism. Some medical groups are pushing back, saying numerous scientific studies over the years suggest Trump's claims are false. Bradley Blackburn reports.
If you're pregnant, don't take Tylenol.
The Trump administration is reversing decades of medical advice for pregnant patients, linking the use of acetaminophen, the active ingredient in Tylenol, with increased risk of autism, though officials provided sparse evidence to back the claim.
They're waiting for certain studies.
The FDA has directed a label change and sent guidance to doctors, though it also acknowledges there's ongoing scientific debate. Major medical groups are pushing back.
I think the announcements put a lot of fear into people.
Dr. Stephen Fleischman, president of the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, says it's highly unsettling that federal health agencies are willing to make an announcement that will affect the health and well-being of millions of people without the backing of reliable data.
I worry a lot about patients who are sitting at home and maybe early in pregnancy, very early on, have fevers and decide, I don't want to take Tylenol, without realizing that the fever itself is a problem. And having high levels of fevers that go untreated early in pregnancy can lead to CNS abnormalities.
Acetaminophen is the only over-the-counter drug approved to treat fevers during pregnancy. The announcement sent shares for Tylenol's parent company, Kenvue, plunging Monday. Kenvue says acetaminophen is one of the most studied medications in history, and it continues to believe it does not cause autism. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Both the president and medical groups yesterday said it's best for pregnant patients to speak to their doctor about any concerns regarding medications.
The announcement today is a slap in the face to every autistic person and their family in this country.
Mark is with Disability Voices United. She says her son is autistic and she never took acetaminophen while pregnant. Mark believes current autism numbers are higher in recent years simply because pediatricians know more about the condition now than ever, leading to proper diagnosis. Meanwhile, Ashley McIntosh, a midwife who says drugs with acetaminophen are the go-to for reducing fever or pain management.
Correlation is not the same as causation. Until we have enough evidence that shows us that Tylenol is causing these problems, I'm gonna go with, the American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology and say they're saying that this is safe, so I also believe that this is safe.
McIntosh says medical literature she's seen has not suggested acetaminophen causes autism or is linked to it. A new study finds not enough women are being screened for anxiety or depression before and after pregnancy. The report in JAMA shows only 3 to 14% of women were screened for the conditions, and 50 to 70% of women with symptoms of mental health disorders weren't diagnosed. Women who do receive mental health services show faster reduction in depression symptoms. The man accused of firing multiple shots at the Sacramento ABC station appeared in federal court Monday morning. Anabel Hernandez Santana was arrested by the FBI after he was released on bond in his state court case. New court documents indicate some handwritten notes were found in his home reading, quote, for hiding Epstein and ignoring red flags, end quote. It also had a list of Trump administration members who were his next targets, including the Attorney General.
As we continue to do our investigation and look at the facts and look at his motivation, and some of the things we're going through are his social media posts, we're going through his phones, we're going through all these other things, and as part of that process, we may evaluate and add additional charges.
The suspect did not enter a plea in court on Monday. The County of Monterey says the final distribution of state disaster funding for the Pajaro community is starting next month. The county says phase 3 of the process prioritizes community resiliency. The focus is going to be on providing additional direct assistance to those that were impacted by the flooding back in March 2023, while ensuring that all money allocated to the community goes directly to the community. The size of the payments are going to depend on household size. Those who received assistance through phases 1 and 2 are also eligible for these additional funds. The county says families who got that funding through prior phases do not need to apply again. People will be contacted through Community Bridges staff about phase 3 assistance. If your contact information has changed since last receiving aid, you're asked to call Community Bridges at the number listed on your screen. The 49ers and their fans receiving bad news on Monday. Nick Bosa expected to undergo season-ending surgery. Max has a full report this morning in sports. Plus, that earthquake yesterday in the Berkeley area has some people talking once again about the next big one. We're going to hear from experts after the break. Right now, going to hear about that forecast, though. Tiana Phelps, good morning.
Good morning. Temperatures right now across the board in the 50s and 60s, with some areas even hitting the 70s, although we do have a heat advisory in the Santa Clara Valley. I'll let you know how hot it's going to get.
Hey, welcome back. Lots of folks in Santa Cruz County feeling that earthquake that originated up in Berkeley yesterday morning. The city sits along the Hayward Fault, which stretches for 35 miles from Fremont in the south and through Point Pinole to the north. The 4.3 was the biggest quake on this part of the fault in 7 years. Some were jolted by it. Others, well, they just didn't feel it.
And I was awake playing with my phone this morning. Suddenly, the earthquake came, and I was completely frightened.
A major earthquake on the Hayward Fault was in 1868, and we think they recur about every 140 years. So by that math, we are overdue for a large earthquake. In fact, we think there's about 2/3 chance, so more likely than not, of that occurring in the next 20 years.
Yeah, let's knock on wood a few times here. There's 450 structures built across the Hayward Fault. Yesterday's quake was felt as far south as Corralitos, too, according to some of our viewers here. Some folks in Santa Cruz felt it. Some folks in Boulder Creek and Felton also saying they felt it, too, as we bring in Tiana Phelps, because besides all the earthquake talk, we do got some rain talk to go through.
Yes, we do. We will be seeing rainfall in the overnight hours until Wednesday morning, maybe even later in the day as well. But what we can expect is that heat advisory coming in the Santa Clara Valley. Right now, we are looking at temperatures in the 50s and 60s all throughout the board, even hitting the 70s in certain regions, 70 in Carmel Valley and 74 over in Big Sur. Now, that heat advisory, like I mentioned, in the Santa Clara Valley, will be expiring tonight at 7 p.m. We will also be seeing some rainfall. During the day, we're really not going to be seeing a lot of clouds at all. The bulk of those clouds and that rainfall will be coming into the overnight hours until Wednesday. Now, we can expect to see a lot of rain around this time tomorrow, so I suggest you grab an umbrella and a jacket just in case, because it will be in the colder side. Here's what we can expect over on the coast. Some light showers. It will be muggy and some chances of thunderstorms. Temperatures ranging from 72 to 84 degrees. Now, over in the mountains and valley, pretty much the same story. The only difference is that temperatures are going to be in the 90s to 97. Now, tonight we can expect temperatures to be 60 to 62 on average. It will be mild to cool temperatures with some patchy bay fog as well. Now, here's where we can expect temperatures in San Francisco, where we are also having that heat advisory as well. 83 San Francisco, 90 Oakland, 91 Sunnyvale, 96 Los Gatos. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s overnight. Now, over in the Santa Cruz coast, temperatures are going to be in the low 80s, and over in the Santa Cruz Mountains, temperatures are going to be in the 90s, dropping down into the 50s overnight. Now from Aptos to Marina, we can expect temperatures to be in the 70s, 69 over in Moss Landing, 84 in Watsonville, 83 Salinas, 85 Prunedale. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s overnight. Now over in the Monterey Peninsula, temperatures are going to be in the 70s, which is rather warm. We are also going to be seeing limited clouds as well, so it's going to be really sunny in this region. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s overnight. Now over in the Salinas Valley, temperatures are going to be rather hot as we are hitting the 90s in most of the regions. 99 Bradley, 91 King City, 90 over in Soledad, 81 Big Sur, 87 in Carmel Valley. Now here's what we can expect in the Monterey Peninsula for your 7-day forecast. Wednesday, we do have some chances of thunderstorm, and it is going to rain, so like I mentioned, please grab a jacket on your way out the door tomorrow morning. Temperatures dropping down to the 60s overnight. Now for those of you in Santa Cruz, Watsonville, and Salinas, temperatures are going to be a mix of 70s and 80s. Most of the week will be in the 70s, 84 today, 77 tomorrow, with those chances of thunderstorms and that rain coming in the overnight hours. Now over in the mountains and valleys, temperatures are going to start off in the 90s, 97 today, 85 tomorrow and on Thursday. And then as we get into the weekend, we are hitting the 90s, everybody. Temperatures then dropping down into the 50s and 60s overnight, depending on the day.
And now, the Toyota Sports Desk.
The wildcard chase continues. The Giants suffering a bit of a setback to those playoff chances Monday, opening a series against the Cards. Beautiful night for some baseball, though. Let's go to it. Bottom of the first as we take a look in San Francisco. It's Elliot Ramos getting things started. How about a homer to left? 382 feet and gone. Out of there in a hurry. Going home a souvenir. 1-0 Giants. 3 homers in this one. The second, top of the fifth, a game-tying long ball from Ivan Herrera. That'd make it a 4-4 ball game. Big fifth inning would put the Cards in front. Rafael Devers looking to cut back into that lead. He goes yard. Fly ball to left center, 384 there. Now a 1-run ball game, but 7th inning, high fly ball deep to center. Look out! Drew Gilbert making the sliding grab. That right there is your play of the day, play of the game, maybe play of the day candidate. We'll see momentarily. We got another one coming up, but what a play by Gilbert. Final score there, 6-5. Meantime, injury issues continue for the 49ers. Dealt a massive blow Monday. Nick Bosa out with an ACL tear. It's expected to miss the rest of the season. It happened in the first half of Sunday's game. Bosa hurting his knee on that play. He would be forced to leave the game early and would not return. He gave a thumbs down as he left the field. Head coach Kyle Shanahan confirming the worst Monday that Bosa is expected to undergo season-ending surgery. But the good news, at least, is that Shanahan said there was no further ligament damage beyond the ACL. But in just the past 2 weeks alone, Bosa already logged 2 sacks, 8 pressures. Well, how about some local football, local flag football? Salinas with a statement win, a 46-6 win over at King City. Like I said, statement there. Meantime, St. Francis in a battle with Hollister. They get the lead late, winning a 32-6 lead. That is, as we get those numbers straightened out, St. Francis and Salinas in the win column Monday night. A lot more action coming up Tuesday. Meantime, let's take a look at some 3C2A football. Looking at some of the scores, we've got NPC keeping the win streak alive. They remain undefeated this season, 4-0 now, and that win streak even spans into last season. This team rolling, continuing those winning ways. 41-14 the final in that one. Meantime, Hartnell running into a wee bit of trouble against Feather River. A 62-12 final in that one. Schaefer throwing for over 200 yards, but just not able to, if it does connect on 2, not able to get over the bump there as FRC gets out with the 62-12 win. Meantime, Cabrillo and Gavilan also in the loss column. Our local teams, besides MPC, they're 4-0. The rest of our local teams, 1-3. Cabrillo and Gavilan falling there. 76-29 the final in the Cabrillo game. 52-6 the final in the Rams game. Let's take a look at some more action. Monterey Bay FC, a 1-1 draw over the weekend. Xavi Marty Nalati with a beautiful goal here off the assist from Tyreek Scott. He finds the back of the net in the 48th minute. It remained that way for quite some time, but a familiar face in Luther Archimed. That would result in the match-tying goal, the equalizer that would lead to the 1-1 draw. Monterey Bay, though, getting a crucial point late in the season as they look to continue the playoff push, but a lot of wins needed between now and then. Speaking of soccer and playoff pushes, Bay FC also in action over the weekend. And Rachel Kundananji with your play of the day from Minetta, from the airport there, just finds the back of the net. That right there finds the back of the net. That right there.
To New England Patriots Drew Bledsoe in week 2 of the NFL season. It was the start of a dynasty for the Pats from there and the San Mateo native as they would go on to win their first Super Bowl that year. A reminder, a lot of folks passed on Brady in the draft. He went 199th overall his draft year. We'll be back. Welcome back. Stephen King's home state of Maine celebrating the author's birthday over the weekend. People lining up the streets of Bangor dressed up as the characters in King's horror novels, transforming Bangor into Derry, Maine, a nod to the It films and the books. But other King works were represented too, such as Carrie, Pet Sematary, and even Children of the Corn. People brought some spare eyeballs for that and spare pet effigies too. You can see the little cats there with the little girl there. A lot of Pennywises though, obviously. A lot of the younger folks latching onto the It films for sure. As now we bring in our own Pennywise, Tianan Phelps this morning for I don't know, it depends how you look at it. Some bad news maybe, some good news, hopefully a grower's rain type of deal is what we're looking for, but it seems to be a little heavier than that.
Yeah, we have some pretty wacky weather. We do have a heat advisory over in Santa Clara Valley, and we also have some rain coming in the overnight hours. Let's take a look at our 7-day forecast over in the Monterey Peninsula. We are looking at temperatures in the 70s, and we are going to be seeing some rainfall, like I mentioned, on Wednesday with some chances. Of thunderstorms. Temperatures dropping down into the 50s and 60s overnight. Now, as we get into Santa Cruz, Watsonville, and Salinas, we can expect those temperatures to be a mix of 70s and 80s. Wednesday will also be raining with chances of thunderstorms in this region. Temperatures then dropping down into the 50s. And some valleys, we're starting off in the 90s. 97 today, 85 tomorrow and Thursday. And then we get a little bit of a break, and we are going to be seeing temperatures in the 90s this weekend. Temperatures then dropping down into the 50s and 60s overnight. Victor, back to you.
Thanks so much, Tianan. Still ahead, Vistra's battery removal process facing new delays this morning. We'll have the latest in a full report at 6:30. Right now, to wake up the Soledad Street fire, Salinas fire crews busy yesterday battling multiple fires. We'll have the latest this morning. Plus, Vistra's battery removal efforts are delayed. This morning as they continue to clean up following that battery storage facility fire earlier this year. And Jimmy Kimmel Live is back on the air tonight with a new statement from Disney about why they pulled the plug.
Good morning, everybody. Temperatures are hitting the 70s. We also have a heat advisory. I'll have the latest coming up in my full forecast.
Live, covering the Central Coast, this is KION News This Morning.
6:30, thanks for waking up with us. Salinas Fire responding to multiple fires, pumping a ton of smoke into the skies on Monday, including one from an abandoned building along Soledad Street in the Chinatown area. Firefighters say they were called to the building around 4:30 p.m. after getting multiple reports of that black smoke coming from the roof. Due to safety concerns, firefighters had to use aerial streams to stop flames from the outside, but it could be some time before smoke clears as crews are taking that defensive approach, even into this morning.
Right now, we're just waiting for the fire to get to a point where it is safe for us to fully extinguish it, and then we'll work on a demolition plan after that. It will be smoking for, I would say, the next couple of...
Reported from this fire, Salinas Fire says that there's no word on the cause, but That will be a focus once they're able to get inside the building and begin that investigation. Another fire sparked earlier in the day, not far away on Commission Street. The fire department knocking out an encampment fire that the wind blew over to a tractor and a trailer in a nearby private lot, setting fires there. You can see the huge cloud of black smoke billowing up, visible to all nearby traffic. We're told no injuries were reported from that either. The victim in a deadly crash along Highway 9 Saturday morning. Officers say 80-year-old Joyce Patricia Elmore of Felton was killed in that crash. The agency says Elmore's vehicle and a second vehicle crashed head-on south of Brackney Road. The other driver wasn't hurt. The cause is under investigation. It's unclear, too, whether DUI was a factor. New developments in the cleanup process following the January fire at Vistra's battery storage facility in Moss Landing. Crews were scheduled to begin removing the burnt batteries from the Moss 300 site Monday, but those plans are now being pushed back. KION's Brianna Mathaw explains the delay.
Tonight, a new timeline for the battery removal at Moss Landing.
It's not surprising that they're going to be still doing this.
It'd be disappointing because we all want to get this process going.
But before crews can fully get started, one major obstacle remains.
One of the things that has to be done beforehand is that there's a wall there, which for the last 7 or 8 months has been sitting in a rather precarious position. I know they got to get that down, removed. The batteries that have been unburned but are rather fragile and somewhat at risk of potentially another fire at some point.
A potential rainy season is another concern since water and lithium batteries don't mix well.
When it rains on it, that obviously creates a potential problem. I know they're talking about some tinting and some other means of preventing water from getting into some areas that might cause a chemical reaction.
Supervisor Glenn says removal won't happen all at once. It will be slow and careful.
It's just like 1 or 2 trucks a day, and it's going to be done in a very meticulous manner. That's why I've been told that we take it till at the end of next year, but I've also heard the point of up to even 2 years.
People living by Moss Landing say they want more information.
I'm not surprised, it seems like everything's kind of happening under, under the radar. I don't know what the delay is going to cause for safety, but it just sounds like they were trying to get rid of it, which is, probably for the best.
I reached out to the EPA for comment regarding the delay, and they say in a quote, right now, teams are handling and staging the batteries inside the building, so it could be easier to move outside the building. Meanwhile, they continue to prepare for the de-energization process and to perform limited demolition and structural stabilization with structural engineers on site, end quote.
It's Brianna Mathaw reporting. The EPA says the plan is to start moving batteries out of the building for treatment on site by Friday. Right now, we're taking a live look. It is our Domenico's on the Wharf camera this morning, and beautiful little bit of sunrise here, though, here on the Central Coast. As always, the clouds kind of hindered everything at the same time these last few days, but still looks beautiful this morning. As we bring in Tiana Phelps for a look at that forecast, because, I say the clouds are gone. They're going to be back later, it seems like. So
they will be back tonight, actually. Yes, we will be seeing a lot of overcast and some clouds in the overnight hours, and we can expect to see that rain once again tomorrow morning. And here's what we can expect right now. We are looking at temperatures across the board in the 50s and 60s, even hitting 70s in certain regions. 77 over in Big Sur right now, 73 in Carmel Valley, 58 Monterey, and 58 over in Santa Cruz. Now, here is what we can expect today. We are in that heat advisory over in Santa Clara Valley. That will be expiring today at 7 p.m. Now, about those rain and wind, we can expect to see the majority of that in the overnight hours into tomorrow morning as well. So around this time tomorrow, we can expect to see that heavy rainfall and those clouds ahead of us. But during the day, looking pretty nice out there. Now, over on the coast in Salinas, we can expect temperatures to be ranging from 72 to 84. Over in the mountains and valleys, pretty much the same story. We will be seeing some humidity. It will be cloudy with some chances of thunderstorms, but temperatures will be from 90 to 97. And tonight, we can expect temperatures to be 60 from 62 on average, with mild to cool temperatures, some patchy bay fog as well. Victor, back to you.
Thanks so much, Shannon. 6:35. Disney announcing Monday Jimmy Kimmel Live will return tonight. Jimmy Kimmel was suspended over what the company referred to as, quote, insensitive and ill-timed comments related to the Charlie Kirk shooting investigation. Jonathan Vigliotti has the latest for us.
Jimmy Kimmel will return to the air tomorrow night. Disney, the parent company of ABC, said in a statement that we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. Hours before Disney's announcement, FCC Chairman Brendan Carr said Kimmel's suspension had nothing to do with government influence.
Jimmy Kimmel is in the situation that he's in because of his ratings, not because of anything that's happened at the federal government level.
Those comments were a departure from what Carr said last week.
I mean, look, we can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct, to take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead.
Since Kimmel was pulled, pushback has come from all parts of the political spectrum. Republican Senator Rand Paul.
Absolutely inappropriate. Brendan Carr's got no business weighing in on this.
And Republican Senator Ted Cruz likened the FCC chair's words to a movie.
That's right out of Goodfellas. That's right out of a mafioso coming into a bar going, nice bar you have here. It'd be a shame if something happened to it.
And supporters of Kimmel came out once again in front of his studios to voice their opposition against what they call an assault on free speech.
This is not a partisan issue, it is an American issue.
Democratic Congresswoman Laura Friedman represents California's 30th district, which includes Hollywood.
And what we're seeing is this administration being willing to use their power to try to threaten broadcasters who don't agree with them.
Jonathan Vigliotti reporting. Sinclair Media announced they will not air Jimmy Kimmel's show when it returns tonight. There are no local stations that are part of Sinclair. A Huntington Beach neighborhood is growing frustrated with a homeowner whose house is full of trash and debris. The neighbors are referring to the homeowner as a pack rat, also adding literal rats have showed up in the neighborhood. Because of this mess, the yard is packed with cars, car parts, construction materials, boxes, and bags. Neighbors are saying at this point it's a public health issue, but they also admit the homeowner needs help, with the homeowner saying he recently lost a family member and he's fighting cancer for a second time.
I'm sure people are upset, but at the same point in time, some compassion would be nice. If they were in my shoes, they would be crying too and wondering why how come nobody's helping you? That's unhuman.
The neighbors are saying if he wants help, then they will help him. The city says they received 39 complaints about this and are working with the city attorney to address it. The homeowner says at this point they're just bullying him. Santa Cruz County announcing its ban on the sale of filtered tobacco products is going to officially take effect in 2027, now that 2 of the county's cities have approved similar bans. The county voting to ban the butt last October, followed by the cities of Santa Cruz and Capitola earlier this year. Now the bans in the city and county of Santa Cruz are going to go in effect January 1st, 2027. Capitola's enforcement is going to start in July of that year. County officials say the ban will be the first filtered cigarette ban to take effect in the world. The county says the ban is meant to protect the environment, as cigarette butts are the most common form of litter. Officials say it'll help reduce tobacco pollution on local coastlines, lower cleanup costs for community volunteers and agencies, and support businesses that rely on the clean, healthy environment that the county is known for. 640 Salinas council members want to hear from locals about a mixed-use affordable housing project that's proposed for East Market Street. This rendering shows what the project at 467 and 476 East Market might look like. This is near King Street and right around the corner from Kern Street. The public meeting is happening due to State Bill 423, giving the developer a chance to present their plans to the public. According to a city report, the plans presented by the developer at this meeting could be scaled back due to financial concerns. The project suggests demolishing an existing commercial building to construct a 5-story one that would consist of a north and south wing with over 7,300 square feet for retail businesses and 97 off-street parking spaces. All 75 units would also be affordable housing. The future of fashion could go the way of artificial intelligence. Serafine Valora is creating models now using AI that have already been featured in fashion magazines around the world. Advocates say the new tech allows them to cut costs and eliminates the need for expensive locations to shoot at. Apparently, they can't afford green screens in fashion. Valora also points out all of their models are original and not copied from actual faces or celebrities.
What's the importance of a real life model versus pixels?
Yeah, I think what it is that fashion photography is a creative moment. The stylist, the hair and makeup artists, the photographer are all doing their input as to the vibe and how the model is reacting and what that model is exuding in terms of their emotions and their feelings through the camera.
Experts warn the hyper-perfect images may be harmful for mental health, especially in young people. We have your wellness headlines on this Tuesday morning. We're going to hear a new study on retirement and why some people are unable to enjoy it as much as others. Plus, a Delta plane spewing sparks while taking off for Sacramento. We'll have the latest on that story after the break. Right now, though, 6:42. Let's get a check-in with Tianan Phelps. Good morning, Tianan.
Good morning. We do have some rain in the forecast happening in the overnight hours. I'll have the details coming up in my full forecast next.
Hey. We're canceling that trip right away. Scary moments on a Delta flight Sunday night. Those sparks coming out of a plane engine. It happened just as a plane was taking off from Atlanta. It was heading to Sacramento, but quickly turned around. Thankfully, no one was hurt as the plane was able to land safely. Rethinking all plans of flying in the future because of just seeing this one video alone. But supposed to be still the safest way to travel. I'd still like to be a little more in control when I'm driving. Yeah.
It was pretty scary to me. I wouldn't want to go on that flight either.
No, yeah. Not even if they try to rebook you on another one. It's like, well, how am I supposed to trust this one?
Yeah, exactly.
After all that.
I'd be pretty spooked.
That's when the imagination comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not imagining things in terms of that weather radar, though. It looks like that rain's coming.
The rain is coming. It will be happening in the overnight hours coming in tomorrow morning. The bulk of the rain will be happening Wednesday morning. So grab a jacket on your way out the door that day. Temperatures right now in the 50s and 60s, even hitting 70s in certain regions. 74 over in Big Sur, 68 Carmel Valley, 58 over in Santa Cruz, 57 in Watsonville. Now, we do have a heat alert over in Santa Clara Valley. It will be ending at 7 p.m. today, so keep that in mind. We will also be seeing some rain in the forecast as well. Really not going to be seeing a lot of clouds or rain during the daytime. It will be mainly happening in the overnight hours. These green splotches here indicating that rain, and that gray indicating those clouds in the forecast. Now, here's what we can expect over on the coast in Salinas. We can expect some muggy temperatures with some chances of thunderstorms. Temperatures ranging from 72 to 84. Now, over in the mountains and valleys, we can expect some humidity. It will be cloudy with also chances of thunderstorms. Temperatures ranging from 90 to 97. Now, tonight, we can expect those temperatures to be in the 60, mild to cool, patchy bay fog ahead of us. Now, over in San Francisco, we are looking at really hot temperatures this morning. 83 in San Francisco later today, 91 in Sunnyvale, 96 Los Gatos, and 95 over in San Jose. Temperatures then dropping down into the 60s overnight. Now, over in the Santa Cruz coast, temperatures will be in the 80s. Over in the mountains, will be in the 90s, dropping down into the 50s overnight. Now, from Aptos to Marina, we can expect those temperatures to be in the 70s. Moss Landing, 69, 84 in Watsonville, 83, Salinas, Gilroy, 96. Temperatures dropping down into the 60s overnight. Over in the Monterey Peninsula, we can expect those temperatures to be in the 70s. Usually they're in the 60s, but it's looking pretty warmer today. We also won't be seeing much overcast in this region as well, like we usually do. Temperatures then dropping down into the 60s overnight. Now, over in the Salinas Valley, we're seeing those temperatures in the 90s this morning, everybody. 91 in King City later today, 90 over in Soledad, 87 in Carmel Valley, and 81 over in Big Sur. Now, for your 7-day forecast in the Monterey Peninsula, we can expect them to be in the 70s. It is going to be raining overnighting tomorrow with some chances of thunderstorms ahead of us. So keep that in mind and grab a jacket on your way out the door. And over in Santa Cruz, Watsonville, and Salinas, pretty much the same story for Wednesday. We are going to be seeing some rainfall and chances of thunderstorms as well, but temperatures for you are mostly going to be in the 70s, dropping down into the 50s and 60s overnight, depending on the day. And over in the mountains and valleys, we're going to start off in the 90s. Come tomorrow, it's going to drop into the 80s, and then we will be heading back into the 90s as we head back into the weekend. Temperatures then dropping down into the 50s and 60s overnight.
Thanks so much, Janet. 6:48. A new study shows not everyone is able to enjoy retirement and its mental health benefits. Jane King has your wellness headlines this morning.
A new version of Merck's widely used cancer drug Keytruda has received approval from the FDA. The updated formulation, Keytruda QLEX, is faster to give than its predecessor, which required an intravenous infusion. QLEX just involves a simple shot under the abdominal skin. A new study by the University of Edinburgh in Scotland has found that mental health benefits of retirement aren't guaranteed to everybody who retires. There are factors that negatively influence post-retirement well-being. The study shows income, gender, and job type influence whose well-being flourishes and who struggle. Now, across all groups, retirement was linked with improved mental health, but the pattern differed by income. And in fact, those in the lower income group showed an initial improvement, but then a decline after about 2.5 years. Well, 1 in 3 Americans is embracing repeat traveling, preferring to return to the same vacation destination year after year. The survey of 2,000 American travelers looked into vacation habits, and it found many Americans opt for the comfort of familiarity over the excitement of a new destination. 30% of respondents return to the same vacation spot year after year, kind of like a second home. The survey was conducted by Talker Research on behalf of Apple Vacations, and it found that repeat travelers are emotionally invested in the destination and feel a deep connection with it. From the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Jane King. Here's to your mental health.
Hello, county supervisors are hearing plans this morning for a new program that would prioritize locals when it comes to renting out affordable housing units. The local tenant preference ordinance would apply to those certain individuals, including those who live or work locally, school district and ag workers, seniors, people with disabilities, and more. Supervisor Colin Kosmicki says this is part of the board's efforts to focus more on affordable housing instead of the single-family developments that have been built in recent decades. 6:53. If you're just joining us, don't go anywhere. We're going to have a look at your top stories right now. Opening numbers on Wall Street showing a mixed bag with the NASDAQ on below, or in the red rather, this morning. Tianan has your final look at weather in a bit. Right now, here's what's ahead on CBS Mornings.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, we're just days away from the end of the federal tax credit for electric vehicles. EV sales have surged in recent weeks, but will they nosedive next month? We'll break down what you need to know. Plus, we've got some big guests in studio today. Microsoft co-founder and philanthropist Bill Gates will be here, talking to him about global health, recent foreign aid cuts, and his huge new donation to fight infectious diseases. And we are very excited. We've got Hollywood superstars in the house today. Scarlett Johansson is here. June Squibb is here too. Johansson is making her debut as a feature director with the film Eleanor the Great. And Squibb is the leading lady at 94. I love that. Can't wait to talk to both of them. We'll see you 7 o'clock straight up.
Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. Salinas Fire responding to multiple fires, pumping a ton of black smoke into the skies on Monday, including a fire at an abandoned building along Soledad Street in the Chinatown area. Firefighters say they were called to the building around 4:30 p.m. after getting all those reports of all that black smoke coming from the roof. Due to safety concerns, firefighters used aerial streaming to stop the flames from the outside by trying to put them out that way. Smoke could still be smelled from the fire around midnight. The cause of the fire is under investigation. No injuries were reported. And another fire sparked earlier in the day not far away on Commission Street. The fire department knocking out an encampment fire that they say blew over to a tractor and trailer in a nearby private lot. You can see that huge cloud of black smoke from there, visible to all nearby traffic. We're told no injuries were reported. The back and forth over a referendum concerning renter protection ordinances in the city of Salinas continues today. Salinas council members are expected to choose whether to bring the ordinances back and possibly make some changes, or leave it up to voters to bring them back. During the last meeting, at least one council member who previously voted to repeal the ordinances looked to switch sides, filing a motion to repeal the repeal. The move by Councilmember Jose Luis Barajas, however, was not seconded, delaying that final decision. CHP Santa Cruz is identifying the victim in a deadly crash along Highway 9 Saturday morning. Officers say 80-year-old Joyce Patricia Elmore of Felton was killed in that crash. The agency says Elmore's vehicle and a second crash head-on south of Brackney Road. The other driver wasn't hurt, and the cause is under investigation. It's unclear now whether DUI was a factor in that crash. For updates on all these stories and more, be sure to download our app. We'll have breaking news alerts for anywhere happening near you. You just got to sign up for those notifications. Right now, Tianan Phelps is going to notify you about that weather here on the Central Coast. Good morning, Tianan.
Here's what we can expect over in the Monterey Peninsula. Now, we do expect some rain in the forecast tomorrow with some chances of thunderstorms as well. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s for most of the week and then dropping down into the 50s and 60s overnight. Now, for those of you in Santa Cruz, Watsonville, and Salinas, we are expecting today to be in the 80s and then we'll be dropping down into the 70s for most of the week. Sunday and Monday will be going back into the 80s and we will be expecting some rain in the forecast tomorrow. Temperatures then dropping down into the 60s overnight. Now, for those of you in the mountains and valleys, it's going to be 97 today. We are going to be seeing in the forecast, we will be in the 80s for most of the week, although when we get into Saturday and Sunday, we will be starting up into the 90s once again, and we can expect to see rain in the forecast on Wednesday with some chances of thunderstorms. Temperatures will then be dropping down into the 50s and 60s depending on the day. Victor, back to you.
Thanks so much, Tianan. Thanks for joining us here on Wake Up. We're going to have more news tonight at 5. Up next is CBS Mornings. Take care. We're going to leave you with a live look now from one of our Central Coast cameras here. It is our eye on the Salinas Valley. This is our Toro camera this morning. Some clear skies for the moment. And again, be sure to watch KION News at 5. A full hour of news then. Take care.